it is refreshing to see that I could launch Performance Max, not get a ton of brand, not get a bunch of returning customers, and not get a whole bunch of engage view conversions or get a whole bunch of just auto targeting BS, and still see cold traffic, first click, high conversion rates, low CPC, low CPA, high ROAS, and it's still getting about half of the CPA that my standard shopping campaign did. It's a question of, can I teach Performance Max with the same users I was targeting in standard shopping, and can I make it better? Well, some things I'm noticing is it's $1.22 compared to $2.02. Yes, there's some remarketing. This, even though it went from a 0.79 down to a 0.63, this one started off at 1.86 on new customers only. Okay. Remember, we're still counting, or we can still see returning customers, but it is not in the data at all. So we say, okay, week one, we can see that this campaign that I was designing to learn, compete, and overtake, this campaign is doing the same thing. I did not expect that much of a drop, though. Not at all. I was not expecting that much damage. That was pretty bad. Yeah, that one hurt. So that's what's interesting, though, is this thing definitely dropped, and that was a bit nerve-wracking, but I had some confidence that we can say, okay, we saw some similar performance, though, a 0.79, 0.73. Okay, it was about as efficient, but with less spend, but we did have a further drop in conversion. I'm like, oh no, things are going bad, and yada, yada, yada. Fast forward a week and comparing these results here, and my 15K spend is now down to 8. So this thing dropped another 7 Gs. Like, okay. Like, damn.
But you validated the logic. You validated the logic earlier. Right. So,
but now I'm 32% down in my spend, but now I see my conversions coming back. Oh, okay. Now it's a 16% increase in conversion for $5,500 less. All right. And now I see 30% more conversion value. Okay. That's not terrible. So we went from spending 17 and making 13 to make 11 to make 17.
Let me say that one more time. I missed that. So
first week after the change, we had $17,000 in spend and $13,000 in conversion value. Now we have $11,000 in spend and $17,000. So we spent 32% less last week than the week before, and we made 30% more.
Wow.
Okay. Now we're heading back in the right direction. So when I introduced this campaign, it says, I want all the traffic, but it didn't have all the spend. The other one says, fine, you take it. And it just gave up the whole thing. So now we're starting to see a shift. This is what Performance Max was designed to do. The problem is purchase doesn't say new, returning, or even the same person, or even the same source.
But now it does the settings in Performance Max either.
Exactly. It's all a lie. But now I can actually see the same users from the same channel, from the same source. Now I see the shift. Now this is actually reflective of real data. Now it's not just I turned on PMax, I see an 800%, nothing happened to the top line. What's going on? This is back to just
more accurate.
It's almost like it's almost like we're running just Google by itself. But this is still running on top of a $200,000 per day spend in Meta. It's still being uninterrupted, which is good, because last time we turned on PMax, it was like a billion ROAS in like a half a second. What's that?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you're still getting the return customers flowing in, but you're able to actually push towards new, and you're seeing the optimization of it actually occur in real time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
What happened before is like you turn on PMax and would get 1,000 ROAS and have like 787 sales. And I'm like, I only spent like 8 cents. What happened? Like, this isn't real.
You're the best marketer in the world, John. That's why.
I know, right? Oh my God. Look at my 8,000 ROAS. I'm going to go make a case study and say, comment fart on my LinkedIn and I'll send it to you. Anyway,
check your DMs. Literally.
Here's the thing. So now I see the shift change inside of the cost, but things are getting a little bit more effective and efficient. So we're starting to see this again. We're only in week 2, but it is now still it's a deep dive. But feed only was able to increase costs 100% and increase conversion value 100%. Okay, and it kept that same efficiency at a 1.54, still beating a 1.12. Even though this is now down to only $8,000, where the 2 weeks before that we're in the 20,000s. So we saved on a expensive channel like standard shopping. which is good. But the CPCs, even though these are still coming down, this is still lower. My engage my clicks are about the same, 5,000, 2,200. Okay. So we have 5,000 and 2,200 clicks, and we have 12,000 and 4,800. So the ratios are still kind of holding up. The click-through rates are about the same, but the cost per conversion is at 92 and 68. So what's interesting is this is coming down. This one increased 100% of its ad spend and kept the same NCAC. Good. It's inheriting the users, but doing it more efficiently. And it's continually scaling.
Do you think that's just mainly due to like it allowing for dynamic remarketing to get mixed into the funnel?
It absolutely could be. Yeah, this could be feeder strategy for sure.
That's a whole nother thing too.
This is feeder strategy on the same users, but split attribution.
Yeah.
And
Jesus Christ, John.
I know, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to compare this now to the previous period, though, which is here and here. Is there a week gap? Perfect. So what we're doing right now is looking at a week in time of July 3rd through July 9th when we had 0 performance max. And now we're looking at last week, which is the most efficient view so far that we have of feeder strategy with first click NC, CAPI, import optimizations, feed only. Say that 5 times fast. What we're seeing so far is we still have a fairly sizable loss of cost. So we've reduced the campaign by 14 grand so far. This is not spending the full daily budget, and we did lose about 14,000. So we're 54% down in our cost. Our conversions, though, are only down 33%. I would say that's definitely more efficient. So if we take half our money out and only lose a third of our new customers, okay. Now that 33% reduction is also met with a 36% reduction in conversion value. So that means that our ROAS had to go from a 0.79 to a 1.23. But on new customers only, that means that we went from losing money on every new subscriber to making at least our money back plus some. And if we had, something like a 23% profit margin, we would be break even perfectly, a free customer. Excellent. So we're looking at a reduction of 34% in our CPC, but also reducing our clicks by 31%. And you never launch Performance Max and get less clicks. That shit doesn't happen. It's usually like 48,000 clicks, 47,000 are from Gmail, and they cost 4 cents. So we're actually starting to see, can I make Performance Max act like a standard shopping campaign? One day we might get rug pulled. We might get, now standard shopping is gone, everybody. And then what is everyone going to do?
Yeah.
Well, I hope
freak out and tons of businesses are going to die.
Well, I hope they like me running PMax, just how it's like normally standard setup, or we can really make this thing hyper effective and efficient and inherit the users from standard shopping campaign, but do it more effectively. So we did save 34% in CPC. This one is still scaling up in terms of spend. It's getting better every day. I will push it as fast as I could go. But what is interesting is I have a 9342, but for 8,603 grand. So we actually have a better efficiency here, and it's starting to produce a better result. It has a better CPA, it has a better ROAS, it has, everything that we can see in the platform, even though they are split, it is starting to inherit more.
And it's starting to spend more, correct?
It's starting to spend more. Yeah, this thing is something that is, if I look at the cost in the last 14 days and remove that, there's our cost.
Yeah.
So again, day 1, 145, day, 11 to 12 days later, 585. So it did 6x itself in 10 days ish. And it has and I'm putting a target ROAS of 175 on here. So I'm choking this thing. So I haven't even started to use my low T ROAS strategy. I basically tried to push this thing at $1,300 a day. The only thing that we manage in the account is MC. I don't care about returning customers to optimize towards them because they're a dime a dozen. He's got 4 million existing customers, so it's hard to get away from that. Yeah. But I wanted a hyper efficient new customer only. Now, what this basically did is do a hybrid of feeder strategy where you do have people that are coming in through standard shopping that this will probably be the second click on it. That is for sure. This is what I'm waiting on. What I mean by second click is if I have a user who Google believes will convert above a 1.75 and may have been on the site from a standard shopping campaign before, should see just stupid conversion rates on users it believes it can convert, which it is actually doing. And it's my confirmation right now. What this means is if I take off the all conversions, just look at the new customers here, we can see it's very rare to get 2 impressions, 2 clicks, and a new customer. 5 impressions, 1 click, and a new customer, and 23 impressions and 2 clicks and 1 customer. A lot of times when you see, let me just turn off the segmentation so you can see the search terms too. A lot of times when you see something like this happen, it's a sign that these people have been there before. Now, I can't necessarily prove it just yet, but we will get to that as this starts to increase in terms of the data when we have more data around here. But this is very, very difficult to achieve unless you knew a lot about these people. It's like, okay, I know that I'm just going to get onesie, twosie clicks and all new customers. Now, why would someone be Googling best male testosterone? Is it something that this person might have Googled that, click on standard shopping, looked at an item, put it in the cart, left, came back to Google later on, typed in 7 different things, then went back to something else, which is something like best male testosterone, clicked on our ad again and converted? Absolutely. I should see those split conversions though.
Yeah.
I'm not yet.
Well, it could be different channels. Like display even. I know display is kind of a wild card, but no one's really cracked the code for display. So
I'm hoping that if it was, this would be split conversions, but data driven may just not see this first or second click. So we don't know yet. We can't tell you if this is actually a display click and this should have been a 0.5, but Google just didn't attribute that one. But
they saw it and they didn't click it, and then Google didn't. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to see if I can scale this. We're scaling, as fast as I want to, which is at its own pace. If it can get up to $1,300 a day, excellent. If it can stay above 1.75, excellent. It actually used to be a 2, and I dropped it down to 1.75 because the client wanted to drop it down to like 0.5. I was like, we're doing this slow and steady wins the race. But if I can use feeder strategy to grow a basically first click fed non-brand PMax feed only, and do it better than standard shopping, then we have some progress. And if I can still use feeder strategy, which is potentially even take my standard shopping campaign, turn it into a max clicks, and just dump spend in there and see how that affects this one as well, that would be an interesting test. Can it spend more? Can we achieve a better result? So there's a few different tests, but I have been heavy against Performance Max, but I do appreciate how sniperistic it can be. Like, you never are going to get this type of when we look at the insights, you're never going to get these different types of conversion values with this conversion rate. That is insane. 9, 2, 3, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 25, 50, 100, 10. I mean, this is insane. Like, amazing conversion rates. So that's what we're pushing into right now is do we like Performance Max? Not really, not too much. I have no control over like how much we're spending on a really particular product to get a good placement. But if I can use this in a reverse element where I can use my standard shopping campaign as my loss leader, and I can dump 80% of my money into PMax, and I can spend 20% of my ad spend on $50 CPC manual CPC standard shopping campaigns for that first click. Ooh, now we're talking. So that's what we've been kind of working on here is this type of scenario. But it is refreshing to see that I could launch Performance Max, not get a fuck ton of brand, not get a bunch of returning customers, and not get a whole bunch of engaged view conversions or get a whole bunch of just auto targeting BS, and still see cold traffic, first click, high conversion rates, low CPC, low CPA, high ROAS, and it's still getting about half of the CPA that my standard shopping campaign did. So that's the test we're working on with the Performance Max so far.
It's with a client that like is going to be the biggest problem for getting warm traffic. So need more tests, but that's a really, really good indicator of like this is working so far, at least looking like it is.
Hey, if you like this video, we have a school community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.